All right, everybody. Welcome to the TSO Live Talk Show, brought to you by the one and only The Voice 17104. This is your girl Maya coming to you straight out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I hope everybody had an awesome week. We had a lot of different things happening around the world, so a lot of people weren't like too hyped because there was a lot of things happening in around the world and within the community. So before we get into the news events of the day, I just want to let everybody know what TSO Live is. TSO Live is a youth organization based out of Abilene, Texas. We were created to give the teens the forum to speak their views and share their ideas globally and within their community. Also to bring forth future leaders, teachers, judges, and ambassadors, and to bring back the remembrance of upholding the 10 Commandments. And like I say every Monday, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to the TSO Live Talk Show. We are based out of Abilene, Texas, so to all of our Texas listeners who are listening to us around the world, we definitely appreciate you being a part of the TSO Live Talk Show. Like I said, we got a couple of events that we're going to talk about today, a couple different things that we're going to speak about today. I have my awesome co-hosts in the studio with me. I have Azalea and Justin. Azalea, what's going on? How you been? Oh, okay. Psych, just kidding. I don't know if you guys seen Zootopia, but anyways. But like I said, there's a lot of different things that's been happening in and around the world. So we're going to touch on that. Also, to everybody who is viewing us on Facebook Live, please don't forget to like, share, and comment. Send to all your friends. Let everybody know that the TSO Live Talk Show is on. Also, our phone lines are open. 717-910-4462. That's 717-910-4462. Justin, how was your weekend?
Oh, very good. Very good. I had a full and eventful weekend. So, you heard of the big movie coming out this weekend, right? It?
I saw it.
Yeah. You saw it.
You know what I'm trying to say. Did you see it? Yes, I did. Oh, wait. Hold on. We have I'm sorry. We have a special guest in the studio for the first half of the show. Tell everybody your name and how old you are.
Hi, my name is Brian. I'm 9 years old.
9 years old. And you went to go see it. Wait, first, what school you go to?
Downey Elementary School.
Downey Elementary. What grade you in?
4th.
You in 4th grade? Oh, my gosh. First of all, I just want to make it clear. Brian, is that your name? Brian is taller than me. Everybody know, okay. I'm not the biggest person, Justin.
Yeah, but you're big at heart.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So you went to go see it. Were you scared?
No.
You weren't scared? I was scared. And I'm old. I was terrified. Where'd you see it at? You went to a movie theater?
Yes.
Did you have popcorn?
Yes.
Did you eat all the popcorn?
No.
I didn't either. I don't think anybody eat all the popcorn. So how did you feel about it? Are you going to go see Chapter 2?
No.
There's Chapter 2?
There will be, because this is doing real well.
No, but next week, I'm going to the York Fair again.
Going to the York Fair?
Oh, York Fair's next week?
I didn't know
Nice.
it was.
I'm going to try to go to that. But I'm going to try to go to the Renaissance Fair, too.
You lost us.
What is the Renaissance Fair?
Renaissance Fair, it's out...
You know what the Renaissance Fair is?
It's it's like 500 years ago. You can dress up if you want. If not, you can go get some big turkey legs, go see jousting, and all that kind of old world stuff.
Oh, you remember Shafar used to go to it?
Yeah.
Shafar used to go. They used to like fight with swords or play swords.
Oh yeah. You could throw axes.
Oh, how exciting!
Oh, that does sound. Thank you. I feel your enthusiasm just bursting.
Oh,
but,
my bad. No, that's not what I meant.
Anyway, but no. I saw that. It was pretty good. I didn't think it was that scary, just because, I don't know, I went to see it at a drive-in. I like drive-ins. They're pretty good.
I actually went to the AMC in Camp Hill, and like anybody knows me knows that I love scary movies. But my dad used to say when we were little, like if you watch scary movies, that's how you invite the devil in. Like you watching these scary things, they're gonna have you feeling some type of way. So I never really got into it, but part of me wanted to go see it, so I went to go see it, and it was scary. I don't like clowns, nor do I like devil faces.
Me neither.
But you went to go see it.
Yeah, and I covered my face when they showed the clown.
I covered my face too. I couldn't. I don't like to see stuff like that because I'm the type of person I'll start seeing it in my room, and I'll start feeling it under my bed. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this anymore. But Breon, thank you so much for joining us on the talk show. We'd like to talk about a lot of different things that's happening in the community, and we're going to talk about some news events that are happening around the world, okay? So if you want to chime in and you want to talk about it, you definitely can, okay? So like I say every Monday, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Send to all your friends. Let your friends know that we are on air right now. Phone lines are open, 717-910-4462. We want to give a special shout out to Hygeer. She is not here today because she is under the weather. So we hope you feel better. And
So, I'm just wondering. I know people say under the weather, but where's that come from? Because we're all technically under the weather.
well, you know, it all started in 1949 when young James. I'm joking.
That sounded like it.
Did it sound real?
No.
Did you was there? Everybody was there?
Yeah, no.
You was there, Justin.
Yeah, no. Wow.
You
wow.
were there.
Yeah, back in 49. Yeah. No, I get it. I'm getting real.
No,
intense.
that's not what I was saying.
Oh.
That's not what I was saying. But I don't know why people say under the weather, but I always say it. It's better than saying that, you know, you're about to die. I mean, come on. What do you want me to say?
Or sick.
I don't like the word
Not
sick.
feeling well.
I don't like the word sick because some people can take that out of word of context. So
Not feeling well.
you can say, hey, Hygeer is really sick. And people like, oh, yo, she dope. She real sick, bro. She ill. You know what I'm saying? See, you can't just say sick nowadays. It's a different time period. It's a different time. Am I by myself? Am I by my? And by the way, that is Miss Sharina in the background. If you on Facebook Live, you see Miss Sharina. She chilling out here in the back. She laughing at me, but that was real. You know what, Justin?
It's like what? The Price is Right. The
you know what, Justin?
No, it was good.
I don't have time for this. Everybody on Facebook knows. Shout out to Lloyd, straight out of Abilene, Texas. Hope you're doing okay. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Look forward to seeing the TSO Live Talk Show poster hanging up in your store. Getting the idea, throwing it out there. Anyways, before we get started with the news events of the day, I do want everybody to know that we are still doing our Teen of the Month. If you have a teen who's doing good in the community and you would like to recognize them, please send us an email, tsolivetalkshow@gmail.com, or you can call in and be a part of the show, 717-910-4462. We definitely want to get our youth more involved in the show. So if you know anybody or you're around kids all the time and you know a good group of kids that you would love to have acknowledged, you can definitely come on the show with us and join us, okay? So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and join in with our news events of the day.
So today, you know, we're going to talk about the hurricanes in a minute and just how that's really affecting this country, because that's a big deal. That's hitting so many people, a lot of people, you know, we know and love too. But I also wanted to talk about 9/11. That's today. 9/11 was today, and that was 16 years ago now.
It's a long time
Man,
ago.
that really, those of us who can remember it, that really just is a reminder of how old we are, and just how much that is like pre 9/11 and post 9/11, how the world is different, like
Is
how that just changed everything. Absolutely.
Did it?
What year was
Absolutely.
that? wait, sorry. I just wait.
No, it was. No,
2000?
you were right.
2001. Okay, all right. Okay.
I remember where I was. See, I was in Abilene, Texas, on Highway 80 at the Highway 80 apartments.
My friend. Okay.
Okay, get it together, Azalea.
Matter of fact, I was getting my hair done actually.
I remember seeing it on the news, and I was like, these people blowing up buildings. I didn't know what was going on until, of course, I was young, guys. Mind you, 16 years ago.
9 years old.
I was a little kid. I was out there in them streets, you know, flipping Pop-Tarts, eating
And
Debbie
getting
pies.
chased by Keebler.
So you gonna bring that up? You just gonna throw that out there into the
What?
world like that?
I'm
That's
just
very
joking.
disrespectful. You
What?
just gonna throw that out?
What's up? Keebler, what?
We don't know nothing about Keebler. Anyways, continue, Justin. Continue, Justin.
So, yeah. I just, I did want to get into, like, where we were on 9/11, and I'm glad you brought that up. I was in Europe with my dad. We were taking a trip abroad. Just he and I, we went to France, saw the beaches of Normandy, and traveled all through the countryside. It was fun. It was a good time. But then we found out while we were in Italy, like we were traveling through Italy, and we were at this cathedral, really beautiful cathedral. That's something you will not see the end of in Europe. If you go to Europe, just tons of beautiful churches and cathedrals, whether you're religious or not. I think that they're pretty awesome to see. And, you know, we were typical Americans, so we're real obvious. It's very obvious where we're from. You know, we're wearing cargo pants and short sleeve button down shirts, so you know where we're from.
Cargo pants and button-down shirts, absolutely.
Short sleeve button downs. Yep, that's it. That's the American way.
Really?
Oh,
You're killing
in
me.
2001 it was.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, we're speaking English. We're being louder than we probably should be. So we're American, obviously. And everyone just looks at us funny. Not that that was a different thing from our trip, but it was in a different way, like in a compassionate way. Like it was weird, like something was just off. So then a few hours later, we hear it. We hear that, you know, 2 planes had struck the World Trade Center in New York City, and it was just a jarring thing. It was very, very startling occurrence, and I don't know. You asked if everything was different afterwards. It sure felt that way. I mean, I know that these crazy things have happened throughout history, but it really felt like that was a different day in American history. It felt like it was things had changed. Like we were at war, and then we went to Afghanistan, we went to Iraq, where we still are. We're still in both places. We're still in Afghanistan and Iraq.
So, I know this is a hard time for a lot of people. A lot of people lost loved ones. A lot of people, it was tragic, even if you weren't there and you didn't experience it. And as a young child, I was way in Abilene, Texas. I didn't really experience it. Do you know what 9/11 is? Okay, so 9/11. Like I said, we have a special guest here in the studio with us. So what 9/11 is the day that in
2001?
New York City.
Oh yeah.
New York City.
Of course.
2 planes hit 2 really tall towers, and I would say thousands of people.
Over 3,000.
Over 3,000 people died. A plane crashed into the building. And a lot of people lost their brothers and sisters and, loved ones. And it was a really tragic time. So every year on 9/11, we recognize and we talk about the people who lost their lives and the families that are still living with that. So I wouldn't say it's like a holiday, but it kind of is. It's like a memorial.
It's a memorial thing.
Right.
And absolutely, it's good to remember, and it's right to remember. I believe that wholeheartedly. But it's also good to remember that this was an isolated incident. This doesn't mean that all people from that part of the world are bad or evil people.
Whoa.
That's no reason to think that Muslims are this
Absolutely.
bad, like the bad group of people. Because largely, and for the great majority of people, that's not the case.
There's a lot of different feelings, going around about 9/11. There's a lot of different feelings. People, feel like it was a conspiracy or, it was planned. There's a whole bunch of things. But like Justin said, you never want to look at a group of people or these are bad people because, these are the people that were told. These are people that we were told that did this to, the towers.
Yeah, and I just always think that we got to be careful what we use it for too. Like so a lot of the people were from Saudi Arabia, and of course the country in the Middle East, in the southern part of the Middle East. Some might say the birthplace of Islam itself, and that's not a reason to just bomb them, and we didn't. And many times, I don't know, we like scapegoats, and we can't just use that for that either. So you got to remember why it happened, but also not to use it for reasons that we just want to accomplish other things too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For everybody who tried to call in, right now, I am so sorry. We are going to make sure that our phone lines are up. Please call back 717-910-4462. But yeah, it was definitely a really tough part for everybody around the world, and this is going to be something that we're going to remember forever. So just be conscious that today a lot of people are they're still mourning. They're still. I don't know if any of you guys have been to the memorial that's in New York City. I went one time, and it's just really like to see. Have you ever been, Justin?
I have not. I've only been back to New York City once since then, I think, and that memorial wasn't done at that. Actually, it was, but I didn't go.
Sharina, have you seen the memorial? Okay, so it's kind of like it's a giant hole.
You didn't even ask me.
I was like, you been to New York City and seen the memorial?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, everybody probably saying maybe she had, ask her.
Nobody. Anybody that watched the show? No. Anyways, but the names of the people who lost their lives are like engraved in the stone. So it's a very touching thing to see, and it's very solemn out there. It's really quiet, and it's just I encourage everybody to go out there and check that out. Shout out to Hygear. Sharina, Hygear said hello, and she's so happy to see you.
Hi.
And please call back, Hygear. We want to hear from you. Like I said, Hygear is under the weather, but we still want to, of course, hear from her. So what else is going around the world, Justin?
So, yeah, a big hurricane season, and it's just starting. This is just the start of it. We're seeing, of course, we talked about Hurricane Harvey a lot a few weeks ago and devastation. I know some people in your family, Hawkinses, were really affected by that.
Absolutely.
And that was really serious. Not that we got to get into their business on air, but that was a really serious time for them.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of people who not just in the Houston area, but the surroundings area. There's a lot of people who lost everything, vehicles, clothes, the places that they lived. So just like last week, we gave out a lot of contact information. If you were needing help, if you're in the surrounding areas, I will definitely post that again. I've been trying to keep it on my Facebook and on my Instagram so that people are aware. But I mean, a lot of people lost everything.
But now you see that same thing with Hurricane Irma in Florida. And
absolutely.
If you were actually none of you were around when Hurricane Andrew first came, but that was devastating.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying you're young. Don't be embarrassed about that. You should be happy about all that.
What year was that?
93.
I was here.
Oh, you were here, but I mean,
I was here.
You were still in the crib or the playpen or whatever you were in.
Actually, I had none of those.
Whoa.
Chilling on the bed.
Well, hey.
Don't be talking about my home life like that, Justin.
Well, I don't know any of that.
Not everybody had a crib.
No crib in your crib?
I ain't had no crib.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, regardless, Hurricane Andrew was really devastating in Florida. It just wiped everything out. And Hurricane Irma is said to be much the same. And you see some people are refusing to leave even though they were ordered to evacuate.
Absolutely.
And I get it. That's always a tough decision. But at the same time, like, you got to hope that they're staying safe. But at the same time, like, it's a dangerous situation. I saw pictures of Miami today where it was underwater. Like, there was just water everywhere. The ocean had come to Miami, and it was just covering everything.
Right. Did you see the videos from, like, the Caribbean? Like,
some of those islands were just taken out. They were just
not even just
fully
that, but
obliterated.
the water was gone in some areas. The ocean.
You mean it was just water? All the land was gone?
No. I'm talking about in places where Irma was sucking the water from. There were videos of the places, the ocean not being ocean. It was
it was just dirt.
Desert.
Yep, I seen that.
You seen that? Wasn't that scary?
So where's that water go? Where did it go?
Oh, I got pulled into the ocean.
It got pulled in. It got pulled in and thrown out in Miami. I'm just joking. Not all of it, but I mean, there's some scary videos about there. So that we definitely take caution.
It got pulled back into the ocean and what?
Why?
Just pulled back into the ocean.
Oh yeah, it became one with the ocean. But we see winds at 180 miles per hour. 180 miles per hour. Just imagine that. Imagine going down the road in your car at 180 miles per hour. You know what I'm talking about. You drive that fast.
Yeah. It looked like I saw some photos. It looked like some of the cars were like Tonka toys.
Did you just throw me under the bus like that?
Yeah.
I'm not speed all the time. Officer Timothy told me not to do it anymore.
I don't know who that is, but that's
He's
probably a
the
good
best
call.
Hampton Township police officer in the world. Just had to throw that out there. Go ahead, continue.
There was someone who was calling, so if that was you, please call back in. I just saw your call at the very last minute, so if that was you, just please give us a call back.
Definitely call us back. Also, I wanted to talk about, we have a couple of minutes before we get into the topic of the day. I wanted to talk about the young girl that was murdered over this past weekend. Her name is Kanika Jenkins. I think I'm saying her name properly. She was 19 years old. She was found dead inside a walk-in freezer in Chicago, in a Chicago hotel. Police say they found her body early Sunday morning. Now, there was a Facebook Live video of these girls before, she passed away, and that's what everybody is talking about right now on social media, and they're, sharing the Facebook Live video that she was a part of, and different pictures and stuff that she took before she died. And before I get started with this article, one thing I want to stress is that we need to definitely be aware of where our children are at all times. My dad used to say, if you're not in before the street lights, don't even try to come in the house. Like, you better go find some place to sleep. The door is going to be locked. Like, you have to, and a lot of people are like, well, that's kind of cruel because, you got to make sure that your teens
I would have never said that, although I was about to say that.
No, it's not cruel.
I gotta be in, but before the street lights come on, like by my house, when the street lights the first street light come on, I gotta get in the house.
And that's how it should be.
No,
because
that's smart.
You never know
if somebody just can come behind you at nighttime and just snatch you up.
You're definitely right about that. In this time period, Breon. I'm gonna say it right before the night's over. In this time period, Breon, you gotta be careful because there's dangerous people out there. Mm-hmm. There's people who don't care about your safety and who you are, and they don't care about your family and how much they love you. So it's definitely good that you have to be in the house before that one street light comes on. My father was the same way. But, back to Kanika Jenkins, our prayers and thoughts go out to her whole entire family and her friends, the people who lost her, because it is a tragic in itself, but it should be an eye-opener and a wake-up call for definitely the community and the communities around the world. I feel like, so often, parents are trying to be best friends with their kids instead of actual parents, and that's not how it should be. The Chicago teen was allegedly raped and killed. I think it was like 3 boys, and I think it was like 6 people all together in this hotel room. The details of the story have not completely come out, so we'll make sure that we follow this going towards next Monday. But, definitely be around who your kids are following as well. Know your kids' friends. It's important that you know who they are. Don't just say, oh, Debbie has friends. You don't know who Debbie's friends are.
No, that's very important. You got to know who their friends are, and really, that's something I've always wondered when, there are parents who didn't want their kids to have sleepovers or anything, or didn't really allow their kids to go out and socialize. Like, I get being protective, but at the same time, your kids got to have a social life too, and you got to be able to. If you want that to be the case, you got to be able to trust the people who they're with. That means knowing them. That means actually going out and spending time with them. And, you don't have to be the cool parent who lets them do things their parents wouldn't. In fact, you shouldn't. You got to you got to still keep up that level of parenting. You got to be a good parent, but at the same time, you can build relationships with these kids too. So I don't know, build trust and just know who your kids are spending time with, and know, what they're doing, and just be part of their life and show that you care. I think beyond everything, just show your kids that you care about them. I think that goes further than anything else.
Absolutely. And like I said, we're not aware of the circumstances around her, her death. But on Salon.com, they have a story about the young girl, and they're saying that apparently they're not knowing if this is true or not, that she let herself into the freezer while inebriated, and died inside. An autopsy was performed on Sunday, but wasn't immediately clear whether foul play was suspected, according to the spokesman for the medical examiner office. So, we have a caller? Okay, I'm sorry. We have a caller on the line. Thank you so much for calling the TSO Live Talk Show. What's going on?
Hello.
Thank you for calling the TSO Live Talk Show. Are you there?
There.
Oh, that's my bad. Sorry.
Hi, dear. Hi.
Guys,
How are you doing?
I am good. I'm laying in bed and listening to you.
Awesome. See my winning smile. So we're,
Hey, Serena, and hi, little young man. He sounds so cute.
he is. He's so
And
adorable.
Get his name right, Maya.
I will. Breon. See, I got it.
Yes. Rian, welcome to the show, young man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So right now we're talking about, I don't know if you heard, Hajir, about the young girl who, the young girl who in Chicago who was found murdered in the walk-in freezer.
I did. It's an unfortunate.
It's definitely unfortunate. Like I was just saying, they're not sure about the causes of death, what's going on around. They're not really for sure about everything of what happened. But she was with a group of friends out late drinking. We just have to be more aware of our children, and like Breon said, he has to be in the house before his street light comes on. And I feel like that's how
Good job.
more parents should be.
Yes. Yes. You have to be safe and listen to your parent always, and use your common sense. Like, you're young, but I'm sure you know, and you heard in the news and everything. So you just need to use your common sense and just practice safety.
Oh, absolutely right. And
All right, guys.
what? Wait, were you signing off, or were you just saying all right?
Oh, no, I'm listening to you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. No, you're absolutely right, and that's a very important point. And look, it can be a pretty messed up world we live in, and we don't, of course, want to lose sight of the positives. But at the same time, like, you can't forget about the dangers that exist out there too.
Absolutely.
And you gotta watch out. You gotta be careful.
You're absolutely right, Ben.
It's definitely rough out here in this community right now. So being aware of what our children are being involved in, who our children's friends are, just keeping an eye on our children, because like I said, you never know who is watching your kids or hanging out with your kids. It's really important that you take the time to recognize the crowds that your children are following as well, because those types of crowds can lead to, unfortunate situations such as what is happening right now in the community. In the community of Chicago. So we definitely, our prayers, like I said, go out to Kanika and her family and her friends. And I hope that, this is a lesson for the whole community. Matter of fact, for around the world, and to understand that our youth play a vital part in society right now. They play a very extreme vital part. And if we are not protecting them, if we are not guiding them, if we are not leading them in the way that they need to go, we're not going to have many pillars as far as the young community. We're going to suffer a lot. So with that, that ends our news events of today. We are going to go ahead and take a commercial break. Hygiers, stay on the line. We got an awesome show ahead. We have our special guest coming in the studio. We're going to be talking about 5 key points for our youth. And Breon, are you in sports?
Yes, I play baseball and basketball.
You play baseball and basketball. So we are going to be talking about... So
Oh my God, he's killing me!
I know, isn't he adorable?
He is. He's gonna. Oh my God.
So we're going to be talking about...
Me too, my darling.
We're going to be talking about the 5 key points. We're going to be talking about positive attitudes, mentorship, a whole lot of different things. I'm not going to list them all right now. So come back. We'll be back. Don't forget the phone lines are open, 717-910-4462. We'll be right back.
Ooh, are you that type of guy with your Rolex on the side and 3 sides that you can't even deny? Your love you can't supply. When I text you don't reply, but when you want that Netflix and chill, you hit me up with no hesitation, hitting up other girls in rotation. But I bet you feel frustration when I stop showing you affection. He wants that Netflix and chill. He's that Netflix and chill kind of. He wants that Netflix and chill. He's that Netflix and chill. He wants that Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill. You're probably sitting in your room with the lights rolled dim, hitting me in my DM, wondering where I've been. I got you hooked like a drug now. Oh, you're sweating now. You feel some type of way now. You turn up on a Tuesday and have a new woman crush Wednesday, but I bet I forget you on Friday and have a new man Monday. I bet I have a new man Monday. He wants that Netflix and chill. He's a Netflix and chill kind. He wants that Netflix and chill. He's that Netflix and chill kind. Yeah. He wants that Netflix and chill. He's that Netflix and chill kind. Yeah.
Please other. My mind is flustered. You went to every doctor, a ton, more than one, more than I could imagine. You are my passion. Love you more than this here rapping. And I'm gone on Patron in that road. Feeling so alone in the world, so cold. And I hope that you think this song is dope and cool too. I'm flowing, going off the handle. If you feel me, homie, just light up a candle. Yes, I'm nasty, just record me. Yo, I put my trust in Jesus. And whoever this reaches better believe it. Wow, leave it to God and you'll be smiling every single time you're scared. From ear to ear, I wanna be beside you as you sleep and you lay. I wish you would awaken, we could watch the next day. For you I have to make it, I gotta keep my patience. Grind time, we're headed for greatness. So yes, I love you, man. Please just let me breathe. Please just let me breathe. Jesus, take me, please.
Yes, I love her like you.
Please just let me breathe. Please just let me breathe. Jesus, take me, please.
Yes, I love her like you.
Please just let me breathe. Please just let me breathe. Jesus, take me, please.
Yes, I love her like you.
Please just let me breathe. Please just let me breathe. Jesus, take me, please.
Yes, I love her like
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, I'm not holding my breath. Gotta fight through the pain, the tears, blood, and the sweat. Only way to stop me, take this heart out my chest.
Digital King Mix got that fire, y'all.
I'm so fresh. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I'm so fresh. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I'm so fresh. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I'm so fresh. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. Okay, I'm fresh up and I'm ballin'. Got my J's on and my fresh tee. All eyes on me like Tupac. It's Tyrese, you can't mess with me. I'm too fresh, they hate on me. What I rap is HBG. I'm on the 11, and I look like a legend. They be like, ooh, kill him, but I don't play with weapons. Ooh, teacher, can you sit me in the front of the class? I'm way too fresh to be in the back. I got Golden State on the front of my hat. It's only 8 o'clock and it's already a wrap. I'm so fresh. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I'm so fresh. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. Okay, you know what? You know what? Please check on my glow up. I was bummy last year, but this year when I showed up looking better than the rest of the class. I got a whole lot of style plus a whole lot of sass. Touch me, gon' have to see me. Most of you wanna be me. All of the beef is silly, really. Yeah, I know you feel me. Walk in the classroom and I'm going to my seat. Okay. I'm so fresh and I'm looking mighty clean. They been sleeping on me, probably thought it was a dream until I showed up with my squad, aka the dream team. Swish. I'm so fresh. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I'm so fresh. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo.
Say what's up when you see me, hair done, nails fleeky. They try hard to flex, but I make it look easy. My mommy raised a princess, but my daddy raised a savage. A's in all my classes, grades above average.
I'm so fresh, girl, you should be with me. Walked in the class, everybody staring. They know they hating and they call you crazy. Forget what they say, will you be my lady? I'm so fresh, I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I'm so fresh, I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. I should move in slow mo. When I grow up, I'ma be a legend. I'ma have my own, no ass and no begging. When I grow up, when I blow up, when you see me around, just know you're looking at a king with a crown.
When I grow up, I'ma be a legend. I'ma have my own, no asking, no begging. When I grow up, when I blow up, when you see me around, just know you looking at a queen with a crown.
I'm a future firefighter waiting for the bad news. The alarm's going off, but I can't press snooze. I be daydreaming a lot. People call me word. The funny thing about it is they just scared to become their soul instead of someone else. Okay. Not me. K Sarah Jamal. Not me. Okay. K Sarah Jamal. Not me. Okay. K Sarah Jamal. Future football legend, Odell with the interception. Graduated Penn State and now I made it to the league. Blessings on blessings. Blessings on blessings. Blessings on blessings. I'm talking blessings on blessings. Represent my family well. Okay. Made my mommy proud. Been to school, teach the kids how to stay out of jail. Yeah. Represent my family well. Okay. Made my mommy proud. Been to school, teach the kids how to stay out of jail. Yeah. When I grow up, I'ma be a legend. I'ma have my own, no ass and no begging. When I grow up, when I blow up, when you see me around, just know you're looking at a king with a crown.
When I grow up, I'ma be a legend. I'ma have my own, no asking, no begging. When I grow up, when I blow up, when you see me around, just know you looking at a queen with a crown.
When I grow up, and it won't be long, I'll be an entrepreneur, running my own salon. If you know how to braid, do a weave or a bob, and you're down in your money, I can get you a job. When you down, come around, I keep the doors open late. Look good, feel good, I'ma make you look great. When you down, come around, I keep the doors open late. Look good, feel good, I'ma make you look great.
When I grow up, I'ma be a legend. I'ma have my own, no ass and no begging. When I grow up, when I blow up, when you see me around, just know you're looking at a king with a crown.
When I grow up, I'ma be a legend. I'ma have my own, no asking, no begging. When I grow up, when I blow up, when you see me around, just know you looking at a queen with a crown.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the TSO Live Talk Show, brought to you by the one and only The Voice 17104. This is your girl Maya. We are back live in studio. Like I said, we have an awesome show for you guys today. We have our awesome guest, Mr. Warren Ritter. Also in the studio, we have Mr. Breon. He's 9 years old. He's been joining us since the beginning of the show. So thank you guys for so much for tuning in. To our special guests, before I bring in our special guests, shout out to everybody who is watching us on Facebook Live. Thank you so much, and also on Periscope and YouTube. We definitely appreciate. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Throw it in all your friends' DMs, because you know if you don't, I will. So throw it out there. Let everybody know that you're listening to the TSO Live Talk Show. Also, our phone lines are open. 717-910-4462. So if you'd like to call in and talk to Azalea, Justin, or Mr. Warren, or even Breon, Sharina's outside, you can call in and talk to anybody you want, or if you want to chime in, definitely do 717-910-4462. Also, if you would like to be a part of future TSO Live Talk Show shows, please send us an email at tsolivetalkshow@gmail.com. Or you can, like I said, call in 717-910-4462. And like I said, we have Mr. Warren Ritter. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing excellent. I am so happy that you were able to come in and join us, the TSO Live Talk Show family. Today we're going to be talking about 5 positive reasons why sports are important for our kids. There's a lot of kids all over the world who are a part of sports, and there's a lot of kids who are not involved with sports. So we're going to be talking about those 5 key points. We're also going to be talking about the health factor, different things that play a part within the sports community as well. So why don't you tell the world a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Wow. My name is Warren Ritter. Most people call me Rit. I've been coaching high school football now for 15 years. I've been involved in youth sports for over 20 years. I'm a former CFA commissioner with youth teams. I was a part of bringing 36 youth football organizations together. I'm the offensive coordinator now at Central Dauphin East, and that's pretty much it. I'm happily married, father of 3 kids.
So, you coach defense.
Oh, I'm offense now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm offensive coordinator.
That's
now.
multifaceted. All right. All right, that's good.
Offensive coordinator now for the last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, your bio is a little bit out of date.
Right. That's 2 years ago.
On the internet.
Right.
But, no, that's good. So, you get to know the kids. You get to know the kids real well, probably.
Yes, sir.
So, have you noticed a difference between a student before they're involved in football and after? Like, do you see positive changes?
It's real big. It's basically the grades. Because in order for you to play, you have to have a certain grade point average. So the kids are a little bit different when you're more involved in sports. Plus, it keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah. And you got to manage your time. Like,
Yes.
if you are – that's a football especially, but all sports, of course, in high school, that's a big time commitment.
Yes.
Like, I'm sure in the summer you do, what, 2 practices a day sometime?
We do that for 2 weeks. We're only
Okay.
allowed to have so much, but during the summer we do practice. We actually start weight training in December. So basically football is almost 11-month calendar situation.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Oh, yes.
So during the season, let's say during the week, like you're practicing like every day.
Yes, for sure.
And that's at least 2 hours a day?
2.5 hours, yes.
So if you're having 2.5 hours a day of that,
yes, sir.
and you gotta get academics, you're probably spending a few hours a day on that. If you don't map that out, if you're not responsible, firstly, if you don't have good enough grades, you're not going to stay on the team.
Correct.
So that almost makes you be responsible. That forces you into it. And I'm just guessing, like, if you're choosing to play a sport like football at high school, like, you really like it.
Correct.
Maybe you don't love it.
Right.
Hopefully, you probably do love it, though.
Well, certain people do it for different reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll admit, at first, I just thought people loved it. It was just a part of the game. But some of the kids actually do it for unity, and they found comfort with being around friends and things like that. So it's different reasons why people play now.
I mean, that's all good reasons, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Let me see. That's a question.
So one of the things that you were saying was that you can see the difference between kids who do play sports and who don't play sports.
Correct. Well, I wanted to say sports activities. Let's say different type of activity, not just sports. Yes, there's a big difference because if you play a type of sport, you kind of have to become a little social.
Right.
Because you're dealing with different people. You're dealing with different types of adversity. Mm-hmm. So the kids that's actually doing sports, you know, you're learning a pattern, how to, like, you got to follow a schedule.
Right.
You have to listen to different coaches telling you different things, and you're going against different people. So kids that actually play sports, I don't want to say they're different because everyone's different, but you can tell the difference.
Right. Which is a good thing.
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
I did a lot of research, and when you're involved in sports, you have a different mannerism of carrying yourself, right. Because a lot of people, you know, just not just your grades, but your actions outside of the field or outside of the basketball court or baseball field, you know, play a major part in you continuing to play.
Right. Because more eyes are on you.
Right.
Like, the more you're involved in any type of sport, like basketball. I mean, football's different because you can hide behind a helmet a little bit.
Right.
But, like, kids that's playing soccer or field hockey or even cheerleading, because cheerleading is a big sport as well. You're more in the public eye, and people, you know, they see you differently than someone that's actually not doing anything.
Absolutely.
Volleyball is big. I like volleyball. Volleyball is very important as well.
So would you say that, you know, for the kids who are involved in different activities around the world, that it helps with them having a positive attitude?
I believe so. I would say yes. From what I've been experiencing and when I've been around the kids, yes, it is a positive attitude.
Right. Because a lot of young, I'm not even going to say kids, but a lot of teens or young adults who join different sports or different activities, they're really looking for a family. A lot of them don't have families, so like their team becomes their families. Correct. And their friends and different things that they look like. Right. Coaches, there was an article in Cosmo that I think it was dated in like 2014, but it was talking about how coaches are like, they become like father figures to the kids. Right. Which is a very important role because there's a lot of teens and young adults who don't have, you know, father figures in their lives. So you guys play a huge role. You gotta like a heavy weight on you guys that you guys have to carry.
Well, one of our coaches, you know, I'm not gonna mention any names, he has 2 daughters. In his first introduction speeches, I have 2 daughters and 100 sons. So every time he meets these football players, he makes sure he's like, look, I'm not your father, but I'm your father when you're here. Absolutely. And if you need anything, we're actually teaching you life lessons. Like, it's bigger than just a sport.
Right.
So how do you teach competition? Like, competition is obviously a big part of sports, big part of football. Like, what do you teach your players about competition?
Well, competition is it's built within. Like, you have to find that something inside of you that drives you for that competition. I mean, our coaching staff is very competitive. So we create certain games and certain activities for the kids to be competitive, just to bring something that's trapped inside of them out. So there's different levels of competition. It depends. It could be that team you're playing against that you have a relative or a friend on the opposite side, or it could be somebody you went to school with or it could just be a team with certain color. It's different levels. I mean, there's different people have different levels.
And I know you never want to lose. Like, obviously, you never want to lose. No. But how do you teach them to lose honorably or gracefully, and not hate the other team? I don't think you ever really want to hate anybody.
Well, on the losing tip, to me, even when we I don't even like saying that word. When that situation happens, we try to find the good in the situation or what we could do better. I mean, let's be honest, sometimes you're going to lose.
Right.
It's very rare that someone wins every single game, every single year. Mm-hmm. So it's about dealing with diversity. I mean, you have to teach them, like, if you lost this game, did you give everything you have? Mm-hmm. Right. Like this year, I've been pushing this thing called 5%. If a kid gives me 5% every play, I'm happy. Because there is another person on the other side that's actually better than you. Right. So you will be defeated sometimes, but you just have to learn in life that sometimes you're going to have your ups and your downs, your valleys and your peaks.
But speaking of losing, you all haven't lost this year yet, have you?
Oh, man, you're cursing us at right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, Justin.
No, we haven't yet. We haven't lost. We're very young, but we haven't lost yet. No.
Well, one thing, but it doesn't matter about winning or not winning. It's just a football game. So anybody wins or lose, it doesn't really matter.
I like that. You're right. You know what? You know what's special about that? It took me years and years. I'm way older than you, buddy. It took me years and years just to know it's just a football game. Some of us get so lost that we don't know it's a game. We forget why we do what we do. So it is just a game. As long as you can walk away from that, wake up the next morning, and realize it's just a game, you're 100% right. So thank you.
Definitely right about that. I have always, I loved football. Growing up, me and my brother used to watch football every Sunday together. Okay. And I'm a very competitive person.
Oh, me too.
I am so competitive. So the thought that it takes a lot to be a coach. I want to say that before we continue. It takes a lot to be a coach, because even if your team is not performing in the way that they are supposed to, you still have to be their biggest supporter, their biggest fan. I couldn't do it, buddy. I mean, not everybody is a coach.
Right.
And it takes a special kind of you to be a coach and be able to support another person, even if they're not, putting forth that 5% or, anything yet.
Right. Well, the older I get, the harder it is becoming. But I love it. Like, it's my passion. I mean, not to get religious, but I believe it's one of the gifts God gave me. And it's, people taught me growing up, so it's only right that I give back.
Absolutely. Which a lot of people don't do. So it's definitely awesome to see you being involved in everybody's life, especially the kids. And I know the parents. I'm pretty sure you get thanked all the time for that role that you play.
Next subject.
Okay.
No, the parents are good because they allow us to work with their children. So the parents are good.
That's good.
So how do you help the students bring out the leadership qualities in themselves? Because I'm sure sometimes you see some natural leaders, or sometimes students who just need that to be brought out.
Well, honestly, I believe, and this is just my belief, I believe you're born a leader. I think it's within. So if you really pay attention and you just see certain people have that leader ability, it doesn't take the person that's most vocal to become that leader. Right. Sometimes certain kids or adults, they lead by their actions. So you can just kind of feel it. It's people who start surrounding themselves about people who actually leads. So it works itself out. I mean, that's one of the situations we was dealing with this year. Like, the leaders we actually found are underclassmen. Most people think it's going to be that senior, that guy, or the best player on your team, but it's just that person who doesn't miss practice, the person who goes to different people and talk to them, that person who uplifts the next person. There's some types of leaders.
Yeah, and that quality that seems united in everything you were saying, it's that they care about everyone else and the team as a whole. And I think that really shows just as something that's part of you.
Right.
Like you can tell, like you care about the team and like you want them to succeed, but you also want your fellow players to grow and to be good and quality people.
Right. Well, one thing we do at our program is different weeks we do have different leaders, for the coin toss and things. So our head coach was one of the best. He changes, the different captains so different people get opportunity to lead. And he does different classes to teach them how to be leader in society and things like that. And they do other little small things that's not football related, but it still brings it back to the community.
Which is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah,
Because
I love this program.
A lot of people just think that it's just about winning and just about the sports part. But a lot of people don't know that there's programs behind that.
It's not even about football, to be honest. Like, if anybody ever follow my Facebook posts and things like that, what we do at East is bigger than X and O's. Like, we're teaching a way in life, and we do want to win, don't get me wrong, but like I tell everybody, the next 5 or 6 years, when you see these young men in the community, when they say yes sir, no sir, and they treating you differently, or they carrying your groceries, or they giving you a job or things like that after they finish college, there's different people. We're developing young men.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, and a huge part of it is fitness too.
Oh man, now you talking about me? I'm in shape.
Come on.
Right. Fitness is big.
I hear you.
Fitness is big. Not just your body, but your mind as well.
Absolutely.
Your mind is very important. I might physically I don't have it, but mentally I have it.
Hey, maybe you're football fit though.
Oh well, I'm round.
Defensive tackle fit. Hey,
I can give you 1.5 plays.
That's fair. That's fair enough. So, look, I know that you always want to avoid injuries when you can. You teach your players to play safe as much as possible.
Yes.
But it's impossible. You can't always be safe.
Correct.
So what do you do in training camp, in preseason, and during the season just to minimize that as much as you can?
Well, one of the things we start doing is doing more practices in shorts and things like that. Mm-hmm. We teaching the kids proper way to how to tackle without using your head, certain things like that. We bought some different, like there's a football ring to start tackling the ring and stuff like that. So the devices and the new things they create now, we got new helmets. It's a little bit more padding and cushion inside the helmets. Mm-hmm. So there's different things we're doing. Our defensive coaches is really teaching the proper way of form tackling. And even in the youth sports, like we've been other sports as well, we're just teaching the kids how not to lead with your head because concussions are very big and it's turning a lot of people away. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think it's just football, but you can get concussion in any sport.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure. Absolutely so.
While you're thinking of that, speaking about the new equipment that you guys are getting, I did read about the new hats that they're developing and different things like that. And some of them have the bodyguard technology, the equal technology built into the hats, which is really really good.
Right.
So it, every sport is dangerous. Whether you're throwing a basketball in the hoop, playing baseball, football, it doesn't really matter. You can get hurt in anything, but it's all about properly educating the youth the different ways on how to play to prevent injuries. Because, even in the NFL, people are getting injuries. So it doesn't matter what you're playing or how old you are playing. You still need to be educated in the right ways to play. So,
us as high school coaches, we can't even get on the field unless we take this concussion course and we take this cardiac arrest course, and that's yearly. So now with the PIAA, we're gonna have to start taking this. Can't even get the word out. The mouth-to-mouth CPR thing. So we have to take it. You have to pass a certificate, give it to your athletic director before we can even coach.
He probably had that defibrillator on the field now too. That's probably required, right?
Not yet. The trainers might have that, or the doctor, because each football game you have to have a doctor on the sideline as well. So and an ambulance. So there's always someone there that's more qualified than us coaches to actually handle that situation.
And I know injuries on both sides. If you don't want to hurt anybody, you don't want that to be on you.
Never.
And I'm sure, if your players were the ones who injured, they're gonna feel bad about it. So, it's great that you just able to teach players how to play as safe as possible.
Right.
And just, I don't know. As cautious as you can be.
Correct.
One other thing we were talking about is instilling that ability to deal with pressure, to deal with those game time situations where everything's on the line and stressful situations.
Absolutely.
How do you do that?
Ooh, great question. Some people can't handle pressure. For us, we have to identify who the person is, Like if it's a kid we know that really can't handle pressure, we end up subbing them or something like that. Put someone else in at a certain time just to bring them back. But some of them you can just talk to them, or you just try to find something. Like one of the key things I use is get their mind off of football. Just find something that they really enjoy. Like at practice, we might talk about video games, or we might talk about a vacation they took or something like that, just to get your mind off that pressure. Because I mean, these are young kids from 18 down that's playing a sport that us adults expect them to do very well. And sometimes we forget because some of these kids are like 6'6", 6'7", but then you realize they're 14 years old.
Wow.
And, you know, they go home and still play games or play with their toys and stuff. But, you know, we have to realize you got to take the pressure off of them. Like the little guy just told me, it's just a game. You know, it's just a game.
Yeah. No, that was a great insight. Yeah, that was really good.
Thank you.
And, you know, pressure is something that we deal with
daily.
All of our life,
right.
daily. It's not going to stop. It actually gets worse. I'm just kidding. Right. You know, it can feel like it gets worse as you get older. So it's good that you guys are, you know, not I wouldn't say, you know, taking the pressure off, but, you know, guiding them through, managing through the pressure, because there's something that they're going to experience for the rest of their life. So they're going to be able to work through those things by the lessons that you guys are teaching them, which is awesome.
Sometimes pressure is good, though, because, like you said, you have to learn how to adapt. Because, like, we're using the sport, and I'm not just going to say football, we're using the sport as a tool to educate you on certain things. But when you go to work, a lot of us go to work every day to a job that we don't like. Absolutely. And it becomes pressure, it becomes stress. But you know you got to pay them bills, you got to pay them lights, you got to make sure you eat.
Preach.
So
Preach it to the choir right now, okay?
So you have to, I mean, pressure is everyday living.
It
you
is.
know, so this is how you deal with it. I mean, like I said, we're just coaches. It's up to the parents and uncles in the community and things like you're doing right now to help people.
Absolutely. So, you know, as far as the group of kids that you work with now, do you ever come across kids who, you know, their families are not involved with what they're doing? And do you see that as something that affects the way that they play or them wanting to be a part?
It's about 80-something%.
Really?
To
that
be
are
honest
not
with
involved?
You, that's not involved. And this is another just a number that kind of hurts me. It's more women involved than men. Wow. You know, even on the football level, like there's not a lot of fathers there. And then there's not a lot of parents there. And some parents, even though it's still high school, they just drop their kid off and just don't even care about what's going on.
Wow.
So it's just, I think that's the reason why a lot of these kids play, just to have that family feel.
Absolutely.
To be a part of what we're doing. Not just us at East, but just at the Harrisburgs, at the Still Highs, at the Susquehannas, at the, you know, everywhere. Right. So kids play for different reasons. Not just because it's a game or just because they win, but just to be a part of something.
Absolutely.
Like everyone just about wants to be a part of something.
You're right. You're definitely right. And that's a huge percent, 80%. You know, we've talked about it on previous shows about, you know, parents being more involved in the kids and how many kids have to go day by day, even though your parents are there, they're not really involved.
No.
Which is a really hard thing. And one thing that we push with the TSO Live Talk Show, you know, we promote love, peace, and health.
Okay.
And we want the parents to be more involved with the kids because it's a life-changing. It's something that forms your child to be who you want them to be. If you're not involved in their life growing up, or you're not taking that extra step to be involved in different activities, it's going to affect them. Trust and believe. It's something that they're going to hold on to.
Right. But you know what? Some parents might not even know. Some parents are just following what their parents done.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So it's different. It takes certain people like us right now to break the chain on certain things.
Absolutely.
You know, so hopefully this generation, which is different than when I grew up, maybe.
we were just talking about this I think in the last week.
How's it different? Oh, sorry. No, but that's a big part. Like that's a good question too. Like how do you deal with those shorter attention spans and people using their phones and their tablets and the electronics?
I'm learning. Like I'm learning daily. Like I mean, like I have 3 kids, so I'm learning. To, like for me, like I said, I've been at the high school level for years. Now I'm learning to listen to the music they like a little bit, just to see where they at. Like I'm trying to put myself not at their age group, but I'm trying to find the things they like. Like I don't want to hear the little Yahtzees and the yellow this. You know what I mean? But I have to, because at one point the things I wanted to listen to, my parents didn't like that.
That's wild today.
Yeah, it's different.
It's more than different.
Yes, I mean I'm trying to be.
And I'm young. Listen, I'm young. Trust me, I know all about the Louis Vert. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that is.
Me either.
He said I don't know what that is.
Me either.
But you know I'm aware. But it is awesome to hear that even though you don't know much about it that you're still wanting to see what level that they're on, and you're keeping your eyes and ears open. Like a lot of people, they just put this cloak over themselves, and they don't try to see what the younger generation likes or what they listen to or different things like that. That puts you in a different category of a person, because a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, I don't have time, I'm not going to. But
you have to. Like, I believe every 3 years you have to change yourself and change who you are. I'm real strong on every 3 years you got to come up with a new identity, or you just get lost. Like, I have a lot of friends and people I know that's stuck in, I'm about to date my age, in the 60s. Well, I'm not 60s, I'm tripping, I wasn't even born then. But in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, certain people were just stuck. So every 3 years, I think you just got to recreate yourself and become something else.
That's awesome.
You know?
You sound like my dad. My dad, he like refuses to be like stuck in one place. That's and he's me. Like he's on it, which is really good, because that keeps you younger too. And I'm old. Especially being around young kids, you know, it keeps you on your toes, and it's just awesome to hear. Like, to be honest, you know, before I actually did some research about a coach, I just saw them as somebody who coaches a game. Oh man, I did not understand the different roles that you have to play, and the different roles that you have to take in order to help shape these young men and women around the world.
We're teachers, we're preachers, we're parents, we're everything. Like, a coach is heavier, because a lot of coaches don't even get paid. Like, for years, for me doing the youth league, like I said, I was a part of CFA. I was one of the commissioners. Like, we did that for hours and hours a night with no pay. Wow. You know, so I coach youth football. I mean, shout out to Swatter and things. These guys don't get paid. Everybody that's giving back, you don't get paid.
So when you're saying CFA, what is that?
Well, it was the Catholic Football Association. Okay. It's all the youth teams. I think they combine now. You have the Harrisburg Little Cougars now. You have the Swatter Tigers. You have the East Panthers. You have the Holy Name Jets. You have Lincolnstown. So it's like they got Williamsport. You got Gettysburg. You have 36 to 38 teams around this area all combined. Wow. So it was just the thing. I was one of the commissioners to help unify that and just have different people playing each other. So
that's good. No, that's definitely a valuable thing.
Right. That's one of the things I take pride in for that, because that was hours and hours. You know, rest in peace to one of my friends, Mr. Kabari, who put it together. He ran it for 45 years. Wow. So that's major, because the kids needed an outlet. So.
Did any of y'all hear about when the little boy died in the river because he hit? I think they were playing golf, and he hit a golf ball into the river, out where the across the bridge at what is that place called right there across the bridge?
City Island.
City Island.
Yeah, City Island. The little boy, that was my cousin. Wow. That they forced him to go in the water to get the golf ball.
Down and play miniature golf?
Yeah, and then something caught his leg and got him stuck.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's kind of sad.
Sorry to hear that. That's crazy. I mean, you hear stories just like that, and you just think that if they were more involved in something on a field or in a court, or something, it could have been different. Because I feel like a lot of young kids and young adults, who are not in sports, their attention is on different things, and they go out and do reckless things, not knowing that it's reckless, and they go out and get themselves hurt.
Right. Well, not just sports. Like, I love sports, and I always push sports, but there's the arts as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have
any activity.
Any activity. Right. I believe every child that's in high school now should do some type of activity. Like, even if you're just working at a community center, or you're writing poetry, or you're doing anything, I think you need to be involved in something.
Absolutely. And that's another thing that we stress here, whether you are an artist, or you write poetry, or you're a rapper, you do music, like, do something to show, who you really are.
Correct.
And that's what's going to make you a better person, doing something that you love to do. And that's another thing, the article that I read that was published in Cosmo, I believe, like I said, was in 2014. I'll make sure I have that on our Facebook TSO Live Talk Show page. But one of the things that it talked about is what did it say? Dang it. I just skipped my mind. Dang it. That's how you know this is live radio, okay? This ain't recorded, okay? This is live. But it was somewhere on the waves of, when you, dang it, I need to pull it up. Dang it. Go ahead, Justin. Let me find it. Hold on.
Well, you're right about just the activities, and that's actually what we're going to be talking about next week. I believe talking about the arts of some kind. theater or music, and just looking to really focus on that as well. So are you get into music at all? You play any instruments?
I don't play any instruments now.
I play one instrument.
You play one?
What do
What
you
you play?
I'm getting a drum and a trombone, and then I play a guitar.
Nice.
That's awesome. You sound very talented.
That's nice.
Trombone is fun. I used to play it. It's really fun to see.
But I'm involved in music heavy since '86. I love music.
And I got the guitar from.
Miss
Guitar?
Sharina.
You already have a drum?
No, not yet.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you my number. When you're ready to get a drum, talk to me. All right. I hope you buy a drum.
Okay.
So it's like the whole drum set.
We said a drum. We said,
Oh my
we said
God.
a drum, right? This one drum. We didn't say a whole set, right?
Oh, sorry. I'm not trying to put anyone on
we
the
live
spot
right here. I hope you buy one drum.
Just in your
He said the whole set.
But you know, being involved in different things, no matter what you love to do it with your whole heart.
Yes.
And you don't have. That's what I was talking about in Cosmo. Like, a lot of youth just do sports because they feel like that's a way that they're going to get attention, or a way that they're going to be accepted.
Right.
And no matter what you love to do, poetry, you like to write music, you like to break dance, every art has its different, form of spotlight. And a lot of youth don't understand that. And a lot of people just follow the crowd and into doing, what everybody else is doing.
Right.
But how do you differentiate between the kids who actually want to play and the kids that are just there?
Ooh. It took me years to realize that. Like, when I first got into coaching, if you're playing, you have to play. That's what I used to think.
Right.
Like, you out here for a reason. I don't want nobody to get hurt. You have to play.
Right.
But now, the older I become and the more I starting to deal with more different kids and learning more about a child, some kids just want to be a part of a family, be a part of a unit that they don't really want to play. So, our team, we have about 80-something players on our football team right now, JV and varsity. And some of the kids that just don't want to participate. So they just, I don't want to say hide in the back, but when we're running certain drills, they don't get involved. But we have a nice coaching staff. It's about 16 of us. So different coaches have different aspects. They do certain things.
Right.
Like that kid that might not go out there and make the best tackle, he can actually help the next kid who's struggling with their homework. So everyone has a different role on our team. Yes.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
Yep. So I'm learning that though. Like I'm at first coming into it. Oh, you playing football? You got to play football.
Right.
We got to get out there. You need to go harder. But the older I get now, I understand each person has a role.
So we're. Oh, go ahead.
What place do y'all play at? Do y'all play at Sunshine Park?
Nope, I do high school, buddy. I'm a high school coach. Yes, sir. I'm at Outlanders, the old Central Dauphin School. Yep, I'm a high school coach right now.
We're going to have to keep him on the show.
He's good.
He's on it.
He's good.
What do you think about steroids and performance enhancers?
Ooh, they're bad. There's nothing good about any type of drug. Like, even when I get a headache to this day, I don't even pop a pill. Like, if anything, you work hard, you can do it yourself. I don't think you need steroids. I think you just lift the weights or do the proper training, you're fine. I just don't think anything that enhances anything's good for your body.
And that's going to make those hits harder. That's going to make those injuries worse. And it's
I believe so. I mean, because if you're taking some type of pill, that means something in your part of your body's breaking down. I mean, not to get real technical on this on live, but I think your body's made up of 100%. So when you start adding other things to it, you're taking away from some other part of your body. Like, you might start getting the muscles and everything, but I think your mind and other things of your body goes. Or your blood start getting thinner.
No, I mean, talking about steroids in particular, I hear, you hear roid rage, and that's real. Like,
it is real. It is real.
Like, I've heard people, like, risk their, their futures.
Right.
I mean, they can have long-reaching health effects, all that testosterone.
Right.
And I see people in, not even if it's worth it for the NFL, but I'm saying people who are just bodybuilding, playing D3, they're using, and I don't get it.
Most of them, I think, using it for the quick fix because they want it now. I mean, I haven't heard not one successful steroid story in my life. I mean, some of them guys that might do it, like those baseball players might do it, might last 4 or 5 years, but then what? Like, I haven't, me personally, I haven't heard not one successful story. So, so don't use no type of drugs for nothing, buddy. No matter what. That's good.
Like, I don't do that.
I'm a good, nice person.
That's what's up.
That's great. Stay like that.
Well, for real, when I go to school, don't act bad. Be on level 3 all day. And do my homework. When I got off of school today, I thought we had karate class today, but we didn't. And I went down there to help Miss Sharina clean up for when she moves out. And I did my homework before I helped her.
That's what's up. And see the difference? See the difference? He's doing karate and things. When you're involved in activities, you stay out of doing different things you shouldn't be doing. Doesn't have to be sports, as long as you stay busy doing some type of activity. Prime example.
Just like Azalea said, that discipline. You can definitely tell the difference. Go ahead, Justin. I'm sorry.
Karate, huh? Man, that's good. No, I like karate. It's fun, but it's also it's great self-defense, great fitness. It's a whole deal.
I tried karate one time.
You do karate, Justin?
It didn't work out.
I did it for maybe a year when I was about his age. That's about all.
I tried it one time. It didn't work out, man.
No.
I tried it when I watched the karate movie.
That's what happened to me.
I watched the movie.
You watched Karate Kid?
I tried.
I watched the Tai Chi Master. Me and my brother, I'll never forget. My brother's like, man, why don't you jump off the chair, stand on the chair, jump off, do a jump high kick. I said, I can do this. God. I was on the ground. I was like, Dad. My dad was like, see, this is what happens when you do these different things, okay? But, it's awesome to have you on. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. I know I apologize. It felt like I was hounding you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But, it's really important that, we had to have you on today.
I appreciate it.
Because it gives everybody a different perspective of not just sports, but different activities.
Right.
You got life coaches, you got sports coaches,
right.
you got all types of coaches. My dad is our number one coach in my family, in my life.
Right.
So, it just shows that no matter what, that role is important. And for everybody who is watching, I hope this show helped you appreciate coaches more. And opened up your eyes to it's not just a game,
right?
And there's a lot more work than them telling you, hey, you play this play, you go here, circle around back, you know what I'm saying? Grab. It's more than just that, okay?
Way more.
Way more than just that.
Way more. Just even the preparation is just people don't see.
Absolutely.
They have no clue.
I had no clue. Listen, when I tell you I did a lot of research,
right.
I did a lot, and I'm gonna be the first one to tell you I was very blinded.
Yeah.
Very.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Because, you see coaches, you see the ones on football, NFL, Sunday, headphones. They're just standing there with the tab. You can't see me right now unless you're watching us on Facebook Live, but I'm doing my little hand thing. But, that's all you see. But you don't see the hard work. And, I'm pretty sure there's days that you just want to cry or you just want to go home. Or what happens if you're sick?
It's hard. Like for today, even today, before I could commit, we had film study with the players. Our one coaching staff went to the JV game. We have to watch film, then they go to weight training, then they lift weights, then they go home. Then we have to break down the film we just played last Friday to break down this film we're playing this Friday. Wow. Then we got to worry about an eligibility list of certain kids. Then we have to do this. It's a lot. And if you really think about, just to say high school, I really only get Tuesdays and Wednesdays to practice. Because Monday we let you condition from playing Fridays. Tuesdays we practice, Wednesdays we practice, Thursdays we get ready for Friday's game. We play Friday, and the state of Pennsylvania got to have a day off, so we give you Saturday off. Sunday the coaches meet to come up with the game plan for Monday, so it's a revolving door. So it takes away from our families.
Never ending.
Oh, never ending. It's so much. So when you want me to come up here, it wasn't that I didn't want to.
Absolutely.
But I'm at my real job doing mandatory overtime, but still I'm doing football, so it's a lot, but I appreciate the opportunity, and I thank you.
Well, we thank you for coming on.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And for everybody who tuned in on our Facebook Live video feed or on our YouTube or Periscope's feed that we got going around, we definitely appreciate it. All the likes, shares, and comments, we definitely appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for going on. It really means a lot. Also, Mr. Breon, that's it, right? Mm-hmm. I knew. I told you I was going to get better at it. Thank you for joining and speaking. You gonna come back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We want you to come back. So just to throw that out there, it's really important that our parents, before we started talking about the topic of today, that our parents are more involved in our children's lives. It's really important, not just for them, but for you as well, because you get to see a side of your kids that you wouldn't necessarily see if they're in the house in the kitchen washing dishes. You see that other side of them.
Right.
So definitely be involved in your kids' life. And for everybody who is listening to the show today, please take this show very seriously. I know what you guys are saying. I know we always do take it serious, Maya. I know what you're saying. But today you got to hear the other side of coaches. And like I said, I never could have imagined. Let me see. I was a cheerleader when I was at Taylor, and that was like the worst 6 months of my life. Anyways, I'm like a tomboy-ish. Okay. So when my dad put me to be a cheerleader, I almost died. But I was really young. But even though like I had a coach, I never like this guy, this girl. All she wants me to do is shake my pom poms. Leave me alone. So you never, like, when you're young, you don't really understand. No. But as you get older, you realize that those children are never going to forget you. Those teams.
We tell them that always. Like, I remember my high school coach, my college coach. Certain people have impact in your life. It's the ones that's longevity. Like I said, our coaching staff, we've been around for years.
That's awesome.
So the longer you are, the more lives. Some of the kids I actually coach come back to coach.
That's awesome.
So that's a great feeling. So I love what we do.
Continue the good work. Continue to be involved in these kids in these kids' lives. And we want you to always remember that the TSO Live Talk Show door is always open.
Appreciate it.
You guys are playing this Friday.
Yes.
Where are you playing at?
We're playing at Landisfield against Susquehanna Township, 7:00.
Okay. Is there a price for tickets, or is it a free game?
Ooh, it's not free. I'm not sure how much the price is. I haven't paid for a game in years. Okay. Put me on the spot.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think it might be $3.
Okay.
Mention Coach Ritter. You'll get in for free. Woo. No, it's not like that.
Call back, Justin. Call back.
Man, I'll build you up a tab.
Retreat.
Oh, don't say that. I gotta buy one drum.
Yeah, my bad.
No, just come out and support, though. You'll be surprised. I mean, just not our school, but like she said earlier, come out and support the volleyball. Come out and support anything. The kids love to have that. The more support you get from the community, the better it is.
It's at 7:00 Friday.
Yes, we play 7:00 Friday.
Okay. We definitely got to get out there and have a TSO on the go show. Yeah. Talk about the game, see what's going on. It's definitely something that we're going to work on. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody on Facebook Live, Instagram World, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Throw it in all your friends' DMs, because if you don't, I will. So make a decision right now. Slide it in there. Everybody who likes, share, and comment, thank you so much. We'll make sure this Facebook Live video is going to be on Facebook all week long. So if you have friends if you didn't miss part of it, if you missed part of the show, you can always go back and listen to it. Also, I want to apologize for the technical difficulties. The Facebook Live video did stop like 30 minutes before the show was over. I did put up another one, so I apologize for that. We'll work on making that better next week. I don't know what happened. I think we lost connection. But anyways, Azalea, Justin, Breon, Sharina, Warren, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being a part. Don't forget to do something good for your community this week. Get involved. Parents, be involved in your kids' life. Once again, our prayers go out to Kanika Jenkins out in Chicago, Illinois, to her family and friends. She was, I don't know if you heard about her, Warren. She was a 19-year-old girl who was found murdered. She was found dead in an apartment freezer.
Oh, yeah.
Hotel freezer. Yep. So our prayers definitely go out to her. So be more aware of your kids' surroundings and who their friends are, because it's important. Birds of a feather flock together. So you want to make sure that your children are around the right environment at all times. So with that, we'll see you guys next Monday. Don't forget, phone lines will be open, 717-910-4462. If you would like to be a part of the TSO Live Talk Show, send us an email at www.tsolivetalkshow. Send us an email. Sorry, I was giving out the website at tsolivetalkshow@gmail.com. See, that's how you know it's live radio, because I wouldn't be messing up like this. All right, guys. So we'll see you guys next Monday. Take care.
Let your voices be heard. Let's spread the word. Let's make a change. Through the council of peace, let's spread unity. We're a royal generation. See the children, teach the nation. Let the teens speak out. Teens speak out.
For more information, go to www.teenspeakout.com.